Kings of Europe. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Guys, welcome back to another video. I just keep saying it every now and then out loud to myself. Treble winners. Quadruple winners. Whatever it is, I don't know, but we are the Kings of Europe. Hello, welcome back to another video. Today, we are discussing a little bit of transfer news. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's sort of a journey of discovery together. I'm not this kind of YouTuber who will sit here and pretend to know everything about everyone all the time because I just don't. Are you kidding? You think I'm watching Boca Juniors play at the moment to watch a 19-year-old left back when I've got a son who's keeping me up in the middle of the night? No chance. Absolutely no chance. But what I will do is sit and watch videos. What I will do is learn about this guy when we are linked to them. So hopefully I can pass on some of that information as we learn together and explore the footballing landscape and all that kind of thing. And I always like signings like this. I always like potential signings like this because I find them absolutely fascinating. You know, if you sign a Boca Juniors Wonderkid, it's just fun, isn't it, man? Argentinian Wonderkid. Sign me up straight away. These are the kind of people, that you want to see come into your team. Football manager Wonderkid, absolutely sign me up, mate. These are the kind of things I always want to see in the City shirt because they're just exciting. The shock of the new, the mystery of the unknown, and you never know how it's gonna go. It could turn out they disappear on loan, they disappear, never to be seen again. Shipped out to Girona, then shipped out to Troyes, then shipped out to, I don't know, random Dutch third division team. Could be that, but they could be a superstar. They could come in like Julian Alvarez, and become a great player. They could come in as a bargain like an Akanji and do something. I know it's a different kind of profile, but I'm saying it's not impossible. It's not impossible. I mean, Gomez, I know he didn't set the world alight, but he got a chance to. He got a chance. So all you need to know is that a young player could come in. If you take the chance, we could have a superstar. Anyway, as you saw by the title of this video, it is Valentin Barco. But his time to be under the spotlight today. Guys, if you're enjoying all this new content, I am trying different things constantly at the moment. Different thumbnails, different content. I'm going to try and do loads more on the channel at the moment. I'm just trying to up it a little bit because I've been in a baby-induced coma for the past year. But I want to start enjoying my content again myself. So if you are enjoying it, please hit the like button. Please consider subscribing to the channel. And we can grow on this season journey together, man. We can. Anyway, once again, this is a journey of discovery for Valentin Barco. Now, immediately you might be thinking, who is this man? And I immediately thought, who is this man? I mean, Barca, not Boca. I'm sorry. Have I spelled that wrong straight away? Let me just double check. Have I done it wrong, man? Barco. Have I put what I put on the thumbnail? I put Barco on the thumbnail. Sorry, that's my. Let me just change it. Barco. There we go. That's a good start. Good start there, isn't it, lads? Barco, Valentin Barco. Changed. There we go. Vowels. I got my vowels mixed up. I'd be terrible at countdown, wouldn't I? Either way. Cheers, Johnny. I appreciate you, mate. So. Let's always go to the source of the story. Now, let's go to the source of the story, and then we'll go to Wikipedia afterwards. The source of the story, Jack Gorn, he's your man. If Jack's saying it's going to happen, Johnny, you're there as well, mate. You're down there saying talent for the future. Let him stay for the rest of the season, Boca for game time, just like Alvarez did before he came, then integrate him in the follow window. Johnny saving me with his name spelling and there as well down in the tweets. Anyway, Jack written an article over the Daily Mail saying, City are interested in triggering Valentin Barco, his £8 million Boca Juniors release clause. However, Barco. It's just so confusing. That's what happened there. Boca's Barco. Barca's Boca buyout clause. There's a tongue twister for you. Get that one down. It says, however, it's unclear whether City view Barco as a player. Barca's bio as a player, is it can immediately be integrated into Pep Guardiola's squad or settle elsewhere. I don't know, man. I don't know. If Marco is a dog, is he a Barco? Oh, no, stop it, Elder. Get your Barco tongue twisters in. Barco's buyout. That's where I end. And we need more tongue twisters for these names. So this young kid, anyway, this young kid is the latest. Is he a CFG signing? Is he the new Maximo Peroni? What I would say is, I know people will go, but Peroni's going out on loan. But come on, the fact that we got him in the first place, and he was around the first team for a little bit, they did get him around there. Maybe he's not quite ready. And maybe he is going to go on loan to, I think he's going to Las Palmas, isn't he, Peroni? That's a La Liga side, by the way. How many times do we see these young talents come to random team in Europe and after a year be worth 60, 70 million pounds? If we can get them in now, look, Case study. City apparently really wanted Enzo Fernandez at one point, but he didn't seem as quite ready, and he thought he's not going to get any football because the likes of Gundogan, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Foden, all these people. And unfortunately, that was one that we missed. Of course, Enzo Fernandez, he went to Benfica, wasn't it? And he was absolutely excellent there over at Benfica, and before we knew it, he became a £100 million player and went to Chelsea. So I guess what Man City might be thinking right now is we need to get these players in within the CFG before they become £100 million players. What if we get Maximo Peroni in? We tell him he can be around the team for a few months. He can learn from Guardiola. He can learn from these people. Then get a high-quality loan somewhere. Go away for a season. Hopefully play an awful lot of football. Develop his game. And then be worth a potential squad place. Like, what's to say Peroni, with a little bit of time under Guardiola and now a potential loan, can't come in and work, work massive kind of like benefits to his game. It could be massively for him, And then what if he signs someone like Valentin Barco now? Get him in a little bit before someone gets him and sells him for 100 million. Then get him out maybe with the first team or get him on loan somewhere. It looks like the rumours are that we would sign him after the Copa Libertadores, which means he would come around January like Peroni, and then potentially goes away. There's some John Stones chat going on, by the way. What's this John Stones chat going on? About someone said an FPL person said he's out for a while. John Stones, don't do that, man. Let's have a look. What's this? FPL Raptor. Who's FPL Raptor? Oh, it's okay. Someone reckons that John Stones is out for a while. Oh, that's not good, is it? Either way, we'll find out eventually soon. We'll get back to the top of the video. Look, this guy, FPL guy, must have some connections, and he thinks Stones is out. Great stuff. Wonderful stuff. I mean, at least we've got Vardy, Alake, Diaz, Walker, those people. Akanji, we've still got enough people to get through there. We absolutely do. So we'll deal with it another time, man. We've got the players. We'll worry about it later. So when you look at this Valentin Barco fella, maybe the plan here, he's I'll go through his career right now and run through his Wikipedia before we get on to any more rumours for the day. He's an Argentinian professional footballer, plays as left back for Boca. He was included in the Guardian's Next Generation list for 2021. He's 19 years old. He'll be 20. He's just turned 19 last month. He'll be 20 at the end of this current season. 5'8", he says. He looks a little bit short than that, if I'm being honest, to me. Don't you know those Chesney off Corrie? Look, I don't watch Chesney, mate. I am way past those days. I think I don't remember him. I sort of remember him, but Chesney, I can't even remember what he looks like. 15, 20 years ago, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember what he looks like. But either way, he's a young lad. He played for Boca Juniors. He plays for Boca Juniors. Apparently, he was at Sportivo Las Parajas and Roberto de la Riestra years ago as well. I butchered that, man. He's a winger, but also a left back at the same time. Your typical kind of attacking left back. So what I think potentially could happen here is that City bringing this guy who's starred for Argentina's 50s, Argentina's 20s, getting international recognition right now. We bring him in after hopefully, several more months of good football, or a few more months of good football for Boca Juniors, where he plays an awful lot. He plays in the Copa Libertadores potentially, and then we see him come in around January, and he hangs around for a little bit. I know he's not a winger actually, Cameron. I know he's listed him there because actually he was a winger as a kid, apparently, but they've moved him back to left back. A bit like Sergio Gomez, ring any bells? A bit like Zinchenko, ring any bells? But now he views himself as a left back. He likes it there, apparently. So he's basically very versatile. Cameron said as well, look at his highlights against Nacional. It's like a Zinni regen, but with the added attributes of someone like Robertson. So he looks quite small. Is it just me who thinks he looks quite small? Like, I don't know. But either way, he seems like a really exciting talent. I have read the odd scout report here, and I was reading about him before I went on. This was from, like, literally, well, yeah, today I think it was. Yeah, I mean, I found this today from Rui Martins. It is a plug for your article, mate. He says, blah, 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 blah. Loads of people are around him. Apparently, Brighton want him. Juve want him. Summer transfer could be imminent. Here's basically a little kind of percentile graphic about his attributes and so on. You can see down here, he's very much a passing, attacking sort of fullback. Pretty average defensively, if we're being honest. I mean, 11% alpha aerial duels won. He's not a good header of the ball at all. Dribbles is ridiculous. 99.5 percentile compared to left backs in tier 1, 2, and 3 of, I think, in Argentinian football. It's ridiculous. So he's a very aggressive dribbler, very technical footballer. He's quite small, but apparently Cam reckons he's Rico kind of size. That's my issue. I mean, he does have a bit of Rico Lewis's build. I mean, what I can see of him, he looks smaller than average. And to me, that's a potential issue there, But either way, like, he stands out, from what I can see, as an aggressive dribbler. His effectiveness rate, according to Y-Scout, with his dribbles, is around 60%, which is decent, according to the aggressive intensity of Argentine football. I wouldn't know, but you have to trust him there. He's basically a really aggressive player. Quick feet. He can deliver. Apparently, he can deliver remarkable technical movements, which allow him to change direction and dribble past his opponents. Apparently, he could use his weaker foot more often. We're learning together. You come on this journey. We'll learn together. Get your pen and paper out. Get your notes out on your phone. Write this down. I'm going to test you later on. His passing rate is directly related to his decision making, and he's not the best passer. 50th percentile there, but he'll get better, I presume. So, yeah, here we go. He's just, go read this article if you want, He seems to be a really exciting player. Like, I don't know the plan of him. I am genuinely behind the idea of getting these players in. Is he rapid? Well, for what I can see, mate, he looks like he's got a good turn of pace, actually, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're bringing in Brighton scouts, if you're bringing in Juventus scouts and Manchester City scouts, you've probably got something going for you. I like these punts. I like him. But then we have got Galvez, as Brillo pointed out. He's a very similar kind of player from what I can tell. I've watched Galvez a little bit, and I don't know if he's going to be good enough, but he seems like a good player too. Like, at some point, one of these players is going to come through and actually work. And the thing is, Galvez, great young player. The thing is, Valentin Barco there, he's actually playing for Boca Juniors, one of the biggest teams in world football. Like, Boca are an absolute cauldron of intensity. The Argentinian league is aggressive. It demands excellence, man. So that experience, it will play him in good stead. So if you can come in, a few months with Guardiola, be an aggressive, a technical, more dribbling version of Rico Lewis, who knows? Who knows what he could be? The only thing is, he looks small to me. My instinct says, unless he has a bit of a growth spurt, he may discover that the Premier League is a bit too tough to play as a defender, as a left back. But if he's a smart technical footballer, go for it. I did tweet out about him a couple of days ago, and people seem really excited by him. So all I can do is, sort of trust that he's an exciting footballer. Fair enough. But yeah, he is the same size as Rico, but I would argue Rico is a bit too small for right back in the long term as well. Rico is the smallest guy on the pitch, and he does get pushed around a tiny bit, Rico. And I see it as his potential weakness. It's like, he's just a bit too small by like 2 inches, 2 inches. Rico's great, but he's great in midfield as opposed to as a right back. I feel like he's a bit too physically weak as a right back. And I think Barco seems, I would say it's probably similar, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong, man. I could be wrong. We will see. But I think you have to underestimate, even how much of a difference 2-3 inches can make in height in the Premier League. I think it's because, people just lean on you a little bit. Like, I remember Brahim Diaz. I always thought Brahim Diaz was either 2 yards of pace or 2 inches from being a world-class player. Like, the problem is Brahim's 5'5". If you look at how many players hit that 5'7" mark and are absolutely fine, David Silva, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, Leo Messi, Sergio Aguero, all these players are around 5'7". But they're just about tall enough not to get leaned on. When you're like there, and people can't sort of lean on the crux of your back and push you down, because Brahim was like that much shorter, people just sort of pressed down on him. And he was always, He was just shoved to the floor a little bit easier. You watched it with Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis is shoved to the floor quite easy because people lean down on him because he's a little bit too short. And I think that 2 inches, 2-3 inches makes a massive difference. It's really weird that 5'7" seems to be the sweet spot unless you're unusually strong. And not everyone's going to be unusually strong. It's just your genetics, isn't it? You know, you can put him on the Haaland diet all you want, Cameron, but if it's in your genetics, it is. If it's not, it ain't there, you know. You're not going to grow any bigger than your body will let you, really. So I do think the height makes a difference for a fullback. Just because, look, I mean, look at these stats once again. This guy is not winning any aerial battles, and that's a weakness potentially in this league, you know. 11th percentile there. He's a small man, but that's, you know, there's no shame in that. He could be a great footballer, but he's not going to, he's going to get exposed potentially. Like, but what I've seen of him so far, he looks an exciting player. I do like the idea of Lewis Hall, by the way. I think he's a cracking footballer. I can't believe Chelsea are letting him go. They're absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. You know, it's just City should be in for him, in my opinion. He's a potential generational player. Yeah, and I don't mind small technical players, but there's small technical players, then there's really small technical players. And I think eventually it starts to... Like, even then, Aguero's 5'8"-ish, 5'7", Cameron. I wouldn't say he's, like... Aguero, like, sort of towers above Rico Lewis. That's the thing. There's a limit, I reckon. Like, it's just about tall enough to get away with it, you know. It's like you would never look at Aguero or David Silva and think tiny. But somewhere just Philip Lahm, about 5'8", I would guess. You know, something like that. But there's loads of footballers 5'7". It seems to be a good height for just sort of like evading people, but not too small enough to get pushed down. Because what happens is when they lean on him, Lahm was not the same height as Rico Lewis. I swear Lahm was about 5'6", 5'7". Maybe I'm wrong there. No, I mean, I'm going to look at a picture of Lahm and David Silva playing next to each other if I can do. Or people next to each other. But I swear he was a bit taller than that. Yeah, I've just found a photo of David Silva and Lahm next to each other. And they're about the same height. Yeah, I mean, they are about the same height, David Silva and Philip Lahm, for what I can tell. Rico's not. Rico's about 2 inches shorter than that. But I love Rico. I love him. Rico's not 5'7". I mean, the best way to look at Rico Lewis is next to Phil Foden. Phil Foden's 5'7". Rico's 5'5", definitely. I mean, this photo here is a sort of good example. You can see next to each other, like, he's sort of looking down. Look at here now, like Rico, see him there? And bear in mind, he's got big hair as well. Phil's about that much bigger than American, and Phil's about the same size. If Rico is small, he's just got big hair, hasn't he? So he's a small lad for a footballer. I've stood next to him as well. I'd say he's about 5'5". I've stood next to all these players like Bernard and everyone, and it's the hair. It's definitely the hair. Yeah, no, I agree. Alba 5'7". He's just a kid. I agree. Look, it's not criticism of height. I'm just saying you will eventually probably struggle at some point. Guys, don't think I'm having some kind of height thing here. I'm just saying it doesn't tend to help. But either way, like this guy is a really exciting footballer by the looks of it. Foden 5'9". Look, I've stood next to him. I don't think he is, man. Foden and David Silva. Look, I've literally met them and stood next to them, and Foden and Silva are about the same height. Maybe, I feel that's where they are. It doesn't matter. We're all going around in circles, Avery. This could be a CFG signing, Vinay. Like, look, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But basically, it's an interesting potential signing. I do like these ones. We will see how it goes anyway. So the Valentin Barco discovery, there we are. Elsewhere today, quick, before I go today, by the way, I did do a video this morning. 5 things learned. Obviously, of course, go and give that a watch. I'll jump over to show where it is right now. Where is it? Go and give it a watch from this morning. There we go. 5 things that we learned. I waffled a bit about Cole Palmer, as you would expect. Edison, more options needed. You know, Rodri as well. Vardy talked about a little bit. Go and give that a watch if you haven't already. And we'll talk a little bit about today's kind of headlines going round, because there's been a few things. What has told me to tweet everything today? My man told me. Let's have a look. Apparently we're offering Ortega a new extension. I don't know if he'll take it or not, but we'll see. I'm glad he's staying, by the way. It looks like he's going to stay. Also, it looks like it should be decided, hasn't it? Oh, I didn't notice that, actually. Told me said this. City will pay a hefty premium for Boca style at Valentin Barco. 10 release, but want good relations to continue in the future. Could also leave the youngster there until January. Expect over 20 million in the end with all future conditions taken into account. Okay, fair enough. But, you know, if it happens, it does happen. I will say, oh, tell me, give me a retweet there. Good man. My man. Yeah, so it could be a big transfer. I did see that news about De Bruyne. He's out for a while. We knew it'd happen, but we'll see. We'll see. Carlos was 5'6", but Carlos was also a lightning quick physical freak. He was stocky as anything. That's what I'm on about when you talk about physical freaks. And like, he was freakishly talented going forward as well, wasn't he? Like those thighs, man, like stupid. Like that, those thighs were like the circumference of my body. Yeah, stupid, man. He had like thighs as thick as Grealish's calves, if that makes sense. But that's what I mean. You gotta compensate in different ways. An absolute rocket of a man. I mean, I think his thighs were about the size of Rico Lewis each. But either way, like I do think if we get Paqueta and Doku and potentially, you know, they's come in, I think we can deal without a Kevin De Bruyne for now. I feel like we can do. Did you see the Alvarez news as well? Apparently a little bit of discomfort. Everyone's getting injured. There's rumours about Stones today as well. Look, it's going around everywhere. It's not good, is it? It's not good. The guys bring everything home. Oh, go give that a retweet, by the way, if you haven't already. It's absolutely crucial stuff. The food bank are back collecting ahead of the Newcastle game on Saturday. It's depressing that they have to do this, and food bank usage is up by 100% since last season. Of course, it's an absolutely hugely important, critical thing. Way beyond more important than anything we do at football. This is about people being able to eat with children and families. Go and give that a retweet if you haven't already. It's absolutely crucial stuff. MCFC Food Bank doing wonderful work. Way more important than these millionaire stuff. Millionaire footballers that we talk about. We know that's true. Yeah, more of news from Jack Gordon there. The Cole Palmer news today as well. Talking about, look, Cole, if you're somehow watching this, my man, stay. Apparently he just wants to play football. I don't know. I want to play regularly, he says, like lots of minutes stuff, so we will see. I've always been confident, but it's more rhythm, match sharp, stuff like that. It really helps me play consistently. So there's been a couple of good games for me, but I don't know. I'll have to see what the future holds. Stay, man. You will get games. Trust in your ability. I trust in his ability. We will see how it goes. But, guys, just a bit of a roundup there for you. Valentin Barco. Will it happen? Will it happen? We will see. We will see. We will see. We'll absolutely see. He seems like a really exciting player, but we'll see how it goes. For now, though, watch for 5 Things Learned. I'm going to go and play with a little one, getting ready for bed and dinner, all that kind of stuff. And I'll catch you later. And let me know if you're enjoying the new content. I'll try and get an opposition preview tomorrow on the channel, a match preview, and of course, the watch long will be back on Saturday. No fan view live last night because I was exhausted. Tonight, I'm going to retire early, unless anything big happens. Probably a glass of wine as well, do you reckon? You know? Anyway. Love you all loads. You're awesome. Come on, let's get our subscribers up. You stingy so-and-sos. Get the likes up as well, innit? Bye-bye.